This crab was in the water this morning. We bought it at the market for €8. This is Costa Nova, about an hour from where we live near Coimbra. This is what the day looked like. We'd meant to get to Costa Nova for a while. It's further than our usual beach, closer to an hour from Coimbra. We wanted to see more of what central Portugal looks like beyond our immediate area, so we planned the day and went. The music goes on first. It always does. The house needs a mood before the day starts. The kids have been outside almost every day since we arrived. It sounds obvious for Portugal, but we're still adjusting to it being normal. In Scotland, a day like this would have been marked on a calendar. When we were planning this, the paperwork side of the move was the thing I found hardest to navigate. Not because it's complicated, it's really not, once you know the order, but because the information is scattered everywhere and half of it is out of date. I'm putting together a guide to all of it: the NIF, the visa, the residency process, what it actually costs, will be linked below. Costa Nova sits on a narrow sandbar, the Atlantic on one side, the Rio de Aveiro lagoon on the other. The stripped houses are the Palheiros, old fishermen's storage huts that painted in bold colors so the boats could spot them from the water. They have been here since the early 1800s. We'd seen photos. It's one of those places that actually looks better in person. We'd planned to come here. What we hadn't planned was walking this far along the trail. This happened because the path just kept going and there was no particular reason to stop. One of the things about living near here rather than visiting is that you don't rush it. There is no train to catch, no hotel to check out. You stay until you're done. Costa Nova has a fish market, the mercado. It's open most mornings. The fish comes in from the lagoon and the Atlantic. You're buying whatever was caught that day from the people who caught it. And this is where the crab came from. We also picked up fish for the week. The quality difference compared to supermarket fish is significant. It's not subtle once you cooked both. I've been keeping notes on the markets around here. Costa Nova, the ones closer to Coimbra, what's worth buying, what's in season, which vendors are worth going back to. That is going into the Portugal's guide I'm putting together. I will link it below when it's ready. The crab came from the market that morning. This is a fairly standard preparation, nothing complicated. What makes it worth doing is how fresh it is. Crab that's been in cold storage for 3 days, taste is different to crab that was alive this morning. Not a small difference, a noticeable one. That's the 8 euros you spend at the market versus 20 euros at a supermarket counter, and it's not the same product. We make mayo from scratch here most of the time. It takes about 4 minutes with a hand whisk. The Portuguese olive oil is good enough that it's genuinely worth it. The flavor is completely different to anything bottled. This is what we eat here. Not every day. The crab is a weekend thing, or when we go to the coast. But this quality of ingredient, this proximity to where food comes from, is one of the things that made the move worth the difficulty of it. We went further than we usually go, found a place we hadn't been, bought fish from the people who caught it, drove back and cooked it. I'm aware that sounds like the kind of thing people say on this type of channel, but it was just a day out. What's different here isn't that it's extraordinary, it's that it's ordinary. This is just what days looks like now. Planning a move like this or seriously thinking about it, I'm putting together a complete guide to the practical side. The residency process, the NIF, what things actually cost, what to do and in what order. Everything we went through laid out clearly. It is still in the process. I will link it down below when it's ready. Next week, the second beach. And something we've been planning since before we moved. If you ever felt that the life you're living and the life you want aren't quite the same thing, I think you'll find something here. We publish every week. Subscribe if you want to follow this honestly.